across the south coast, live from Solent University. You're listening to Solent Sports News.
Good afternoon, it's 1 o'clock. I'm Chloe Jones with your lunchtime Solent Sports News. Everton's plea hearing in response to their 10-point penalty for violating financial regulations is scheduled for the upcoming next 3 days. Anticipated by mid-February, the ultimate verdict will determine Everton's fate. The 10-point penalty has placed the club in a struggle against Premier League relegation, hovering just 1 point above the relegation zone. Now over to Rochelle in the studio to talk about the situation some more.
Yes, as you said, Everton's point deduction appeal is going to be heard over the next 3 days. On November 17th, Everton was sanctioned for a breach of the Premier League's profitability and sustainability rules, and from that they had 14 days to appeal. Nottingham Forest have also been found to be breaking PSR. However, not a lot has been said on their outcomes, but investigations still could be pending. The hearing will begin on Wednesday and will come to an end on Friday. However, the final decision, as you mentioned, is expected to be announced in a couple of weeks. Under the Premier League PSR guidelines, the clubs are allowed to lose a maximum of £105 million from the course of 3 seasons. However, this cost can be deducted because of points such as infrastructure and women's football. Everton's PSR calculation for the period of time resulted in £124.5 million in losses, which obviously exceeds the threshold. The club said that they were shocked and disappointed, and they were guaranteed to appeal after being thrown into the relegation zone with immediate effect, kind of early on in the season. Despite being put in the relegation zone, Everton now sit 1 point above, again as you said, above Luton Town, in 17th place on the table. They narrowly avoided relegation last season with 2 points above, again in 17th, and it wasn't on Everton's cards to be fighting that again. If and only if Everton awarded the 10 points back, they'll then sit in 12th, which then they could have a chance to fight for Europe or just try and keep themselves out of the relegation zone. But obviously at current moment it is unsure what outcomes could happen, and that anything could be happening for Everton at this point in time.
Thank you so much for that, Rochelle. Tonight in the Premier League, Aston Villa are set to welcome Newcastle in their quest to strengthen their position within the top 4. Meanwhile, the visiting team aspires to ascend towards the European spots. Fans may struggle to get to the match via train, however, as members of the ASLEF union strike in their continuous dispute over pay. Newcastle manager Eddie Howe is less than impressed with how his team's fixtures have been scheduled.
Both kick-off times strange, and it does think there's a lack of care for the supporters. When you consider the loyalty and passion that the Newcastle supporters show, you know there's going to be a huge number that want to go to the game. So of course we thank them for the support and we sympathise with the travel arrangements.
Southampton have agreed to a deal with AFC Bournemouth to sign winger David Brooks until the end of the season. The 26-year-old is set to undergo medical tests today ahead of the Thursday deadline for the winter transfer window. Brooks made his return in March 2023 after a battle with Hodgkin's lymphoma. Burnley boss Vincent Kompany notes the presence of numerous moving pieces in their efforts to finalise transfers before the Thursday deadline. The Premier League side has been associated with Montpellier's Maxime Estef in transfer talks. Kompany says that he has closely observed the French player.
I think we're past the point where I can deny that there's been interest, right? So you've got probably the best sources out there. But the point is, he's not our player.
The United States are now the new 2022 figure skate Olympic champions. Russia's Winter Olympic figure skater Kamila Valieva has been disqualified for a doping charge and has been given a 4-year ban after failing the drug tests. The team will now move down to receive the bronze medal, and Japan moves up to claim silver. A new darts rivalry has birthed between teenage sensation Luke Littler and world number 1 Luke Humphries after the 28-year-old said Littler is the future of darts. Humphries beat Littler in the final of the World Dart Championship before the teenager took revenge in the quarterfinals of the Dutch Masters, winning 6-5.
It's going to be a healthy rivalry. I think we've both got massive potential, so I feel like I can get better. I think he can get better. And if everybody else behind us doesn't get better themselves, then we'll be the two to take the sport forward. But I think there'll be a lot more of the players having a lot to say about that.
Will it be revenge or repeat in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl? In the wake of the electrifying NFC and AFC matchups, the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs are set to face off next Sunday. Can the Kansas City Chiefs go back-to-back, or will the 49ers finally get their 6th title after being within reaching distance over the past few years? That's all from us now. I'll be back in an hour. Remember, you can keep up to date on our website at solentsportsnews.com.